Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 25th of July 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly before we jump actually into the charts, just a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel here, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our videos, and also our JFD research page, which you can visit in order to kind of see our analysis, our daily analysis that we do here. So I believe you can find them quite useful. So, but for now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the S&P 500. Now, yesterday, the S&P managed to make another push higher here, closed in the positive territory, and but looking at the cash index right now, it is sliding a little bit to the downside here. So in a way, we could see a nice opening lower here. So in a way, for looking at this picture here, you can see that we're still trading above this upside support line taken from the low of the 14th of June. If the index continues to slide lower today, then like it is right now on the cash index, then we could of course target this upside line. The only thing is that for now, of course, the big question here is, will this upside line hold, and will we see another curve up here? But for now, like I said, guys, of course, looking at the cash index, it seems that it's sliding back down. In a way, it could continue traveling lower. If it does that, then yep, we'll be targeting this upside support line. If actually the index decides to reverse back up and push above the yesterday's close here, then yep, we will aim for higher levels. I mean, this would be placing the index in the uncharted territory. This would confirm a new higher high, and it will be very interesting to see if actually where the index could find some good resistance. So for now, it is looking at the cash index, it is sliding a little bit to the downside. We are going to be having probably a nice good opening to the downside here, but can the bears let's say drive this one to the at least towards this upside support line? This is going to be quite an interesting one to watch. For now, we are kind of leaning more towards that area. We'll see how this is going to play out, and be very careful and have your stop loss in place, guys. So now jumping into a few pairs, the first one I want to touch on here is the US dollar against the Turkish lira. So this has been quite an interesting one today. As you can see, this is what I was talking about this morning basically, and we were expecting the interest rate decision, and we got the interest rate decision from the Turkish central bank. So they've decided to cut rates, and even they've cut their rates below expectation. So as you can see, this is the positive reaction that we're getting in the Turkish lira, in the USDTRY. We are seeing a slide here to the downside, a drop. This is the level that I was talking about this morning. Basically, we needed to see a drop below the 5.69 zone, approximately around there, in order to kind of aim for lower levels. We did get a nice drop lower here. For now, we are kind of we are still somewhat bearish on this one, on this pair, and especially if it stays below this 5.69 zone. If it stays here, then yep, we could see further declines here, maybe going all the way here towards this short-term upside support line. So for now, like I said, keep your eyes on this one. Let's see how this is gonna play out, but like I said, for now this is looking more bearish than bullish. That said, let's see how today's daily candle and where the daily candle is going to close. If it's going to stay below the 5.69, then yep, we are aiming for lower, slightly lower areas here again. If it gets back inside here, then well, for us this downside line again becomes an important one to watch. This downside line has been running here from the high of the 9th of May, but to be honest, ideally, in order to kind of consider let's say the upside again, ideally we would like to see a nice good close above, not only above this downside line but also above this 5.74 level, approximately around here. This way the pair would also close above its 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, and by a close I mean a daily close. That would be interesting to see here. So that's why for now it seems that the upside could be slightly off the table for now. There could be some more downside, but especially if it stays below this 5.69 level, so keep your eyes on that one. USDJPY, interesting developments here. So USDJPY is having a nice push here to the upside, and it's now testing its 200 EMA again. So for now you can see that the actually last time when I've covered this one, I was talking about this level right here, the 108 zone, which acted as a fantastic area of support, from which you can see that the pair popped to the upside. It is now testing the 200 EMA, but to be honest, it seems that it could continue traveling further up here. Now slightly above we do have this 108.37 level that also could play out nicely as a nice good area of resistance. So that was the high of the 16th of July, but if that fails to withhold, then yep, of course further acceleration to the upside is possible, and this is where we could aim for the 108.62-63 zone, something like that. So for now, in a way, this is what we're looking for, a further push above a further push higher. If it takes it above the 200 EMA, then yes, we are aiming for this level first, the 108.37, and after that the slightly better one that we're going to be talking about is going to be this 108.63 that I've just mentioned. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. In terms of the downside, if this suddenly drops below the 108 area, then well, I mean, be very careful. I mean, we could see a bit of correction here to the downside. Probably we need to get rid of this downside line. It's no longer relevant, and initially if we see a drop below the 108, initially we will target this 107.75. so previously acted as a good area of support. This time it could do the same thing again, so keep your eyes on this one. EURCAD, very quickly on this one, and here you can see this is what I was talking about this morning. Basically, we saw initially a drop lower here. As you already know, I mean, we do have the Mario Draghi's press conference. I mean, I believe it's maybe finished yet already, but I'm not quite sure. But you can see that initially before or should I say after the interest rate decision, the the euro started sliding. It slid against all of its major counterparts, but now you can see that it's now getting back above this 1.46 level, and it's trying to make its way higher. The question is, can it stay above the 1.4652 level, the one that I've talked about this morning? And if it does, then yep, we will consider a further push higher here, maybe towards this 1.4716 zone initially, and then we'll take it from there, see what he wants to do after that. So for now, guys, for now, keep your eyes on this, and let's see how this is going to play out. But if this, let's say, suddenly reverses back down again and gets closer to the 1.46 level, now we will be very careful around here again. Maybe this is going to be the time when it will decide to stay below the 1.46. So still, we need to see that nice good clear break, and ideally a close below this 1.46 level before we could aim for lower levels. EURUSD, so initially also sliding towards the towards our targets here, and where our targets got met near the 1.1110, it even actually dropped below that, so it almost and let me just quickly find this level here. So it it dropped and tested the 1.11, actually bang on exactly 1.11, and you can see that now the pair is trying to make its way higher. The big question here is, will it actually be able to travel today towards the 1.1180 or 1.1190? This is going to be very, very interesting to see. If it struggles, then we could see maybe a small pullback here, maybe back towards the 1.1140, something like that. And to be honest, maybe this move higher could come tomorrow, so that's why be very careful with this one. In terms of the upside here, further upside, let's put it that way, we need to see a nice good clear push back above the 1.1190 level before kind of examining maybe slightly higher levels here, but ideally, probably just for that better confirmation, ideally we would like to see a push above the 1.1225 zone, and only then kind of aim for slightly higher levels. In terms of the downside here, well, for now, it seems that yes, it wants to travel higher. If it does travel higher, but if it struggles near the 1.1180 or the 1.1190, then we could see this one curving up and kind of pushing back down again. Still, in a way, we are leaning towards the idea that there could be another slide here, but of course for now it seems that the bulls are kind of dictating the rules. Let's see how this day is going to end, where this day is going to end, and we'll take it from there. We'll see how it's going to perform tomorrow, but to be honest, like I said, for now the area that we are kind of aiming for are near the 1.1180. We'll see if it actually reaches that today. If it does, then it's going to be very interesting to see if it actually can push further above the, let's say, 1.1190. So keep your eyes on those guys. Okay, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching it till the end. This was a short session here today, so let's see how the market is going to play out later on, especially let's see how the euro is going to play out later on. And yep, we'll come back tomorrow. Please join me tomorrow on my Traders Espresso at 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful trading day, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.